Hi, have any of you ever listened to a radio programme in the UK called Desert Island Discs? It's one of my favourite, and we used to have it on the radio in the kitchen when my mum used to be cooking and doing things in the house on the weekends. Anyway, they do. I think they have it on a Friday morning here, and they repeat it on a Sunday, I think. But it's really interesting, very simple formula. It's been going for decades. And if you take a desert island in the middle of nowhere and you plonk one person on it, and that person would be any random person that's pretty well known, a celebrity, an actor, actress, film director, musician, author, cook, whatever it is. They could have designed the Channel Tunnel, they could have gone down and hunted for the Titanic. Anybody who's got a very interesting career could go on this program on the radio. And they had to answer simple criteria, and that was they had to name, I think, their 7 top tunes that they would take, their 7 top pieces of music. They would have to name a book that they would take. They get the Bible, but they have to name a book that they would take. And then they also get to name a luxury item that they can take. And that luxury item can be anything. I mean, it could be suntan lotion. It could be a fantastic wine collection that never ends. It could be anything, but it can't be a person or a pet or anything like that. You'd have to make your own pets on the island, I suppose, if you could find something that was cuddly enough and wasn't going to eat you. Anyway, so I was thinking about that program, and I thought, now what music would I want on my desert island that I could play over and over and over again? I certainly don't have 7 tunes that I can decide on at this moment in time, but I would definitely this would be one of them, Jesse Norman singing the prelude to Tristan and Isolde by Wagner. And actually, I would take the entire opera because it kind of comes in and out throughout the opera. So I would take that. Well, in fact, I might even take the entire collection of Wagner. But if I could only have one tune from his, it would be the prelude. And I would probably also take, this is very random, because we used to listen to it in the car when I used to drive the children to school when they were really little. When everybody else was listening to nursery rhymes and really annoying songs, we would be listening to things like Madonna, Ray of Light. And I'm not particularly a massive Madonna fan, but I love Ray of Light. And playing it at sort of 7:30 in the morning on a really dark grey morning in the UK, driving in London through traffic to 3 different schools or whatever it was we had to do, used to keep us all awake. And it used to keep us in a good mood. So that would be definitely another one. And I don't know about the rest yet. I mean, I could think about it. And try and let you know at some point. But those would be 2 definite pieces of music. And then I would, maybe John Martin, who I love. He did an album called Solidaire, and there's a song on that called Solidaire, and that reminds me of when I was about sort of 17, and I was at college, and I had a really good friend, and he loved that album, and we used to listen to it a lot. And probably something from Fleetwood Mac as well from that era, and David Bowie Heroes, and there'd be lots of different things. Anyway, we can revisit that. But then I was thinking about what would be my luxury item. Now, what would my luxury item be? Would it be some really nice shower gel or something? No. Body cream? No. Anything like that? No, I don't think so. I think my luxury item would be the most comfortable bed with the most delicious linen sheets, with a mosquito net that was draped with ample room to tuck it in if there were lots of bugs that were going to attack me, and would keep me safe from the wild animals as well, and dry. So I suppose a sort of canopy bed, which is sort of waterproof and has mosquito nets, with ever-changing, beautiful, crisp, lovely linen, and really, really comfortable plush mattress, and lots of pillows and cushions. That would be my absolute luxury item, because that would be a real extravagance, and it would also sort of double up as a kind of special house, really, and give me lots of shade if I needed shade, and protection from the sun, and protection from bugs and animals. So that would be my luxury item. And My book. Now, what would my book be? Well, I've got sentimental books, really. And sentimental books kind of win, I suppose, in a way. One of the most sentimental books I've got, which was given to me by a really lovely person who I'm very soft about, was Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Or maybe it would be the entire works of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, because there's lots of really interesting stories in there, and they are sort of set in sort of semi-tropical environments. So it would, all the smells and sounds of the island and the sort of the desert and the jungle, the beach and the jungle and the trees and the rustling and the animals and the fragrance and the fruits and the lizards running around and the hibiscus and all the things, and the sea lapping that would be a lovely place to read those Gabriel Garcia Marquez books, for sure. One of my other favourite books is Madame Bovary by Flaubert. I just love it. And again, it's just, read at a time in my life which I would always go back to that book. I absolutely love it. The woman who's desperate for love. And I don't know, there is sort of a whole great big massive volumes of poetry, E. Cummings, or it could be Neruda or anybody like that. But I think I would have to probably take the Gabriel Garcia Marquez, because they are written so well and they're such great stories. And it would have to be his entire collection if I could have it. Otherwise it would just be Love in the Time of Cholera. And you get the Bible. So I think that would probably be my choice. I don't know if you've got any good choices. What would be your luxury item? I think the bed is a good one, because it's kind of sneaky, because it gets you through, or hopefully get you having a really good night's sleep. Because, with things like if you wanted rum, or you wanted, I don't know, some kind of alcoholic drink which you wouldn't be able to have, as a treat, which you wouldn't be able to have. We wouldn't want sort of cases of wine and stuff. Some people have asked for cases of wine, because you can ferment your own juice and things from whatever fruit and coconuts and what have you that is around on the island. Hopefully you'd be able to do some hunting. I'm assuming that you would get a first aid kit and a kind of little toolbox of things that you might need, like everlasting boxes of matches, or lighters to light fires, that you would have your basic tools, screwdrivers and a saw and things like that, so that you can make yourself a little hovel to sort of live in and cook in and things. But yeah, definitely, I think it would definitely be a really comfortable bed, because that is my absolute luxury in life. Getting into sort of lovely clean sheets, real luxury. I absolutely love it. And if I was so mega wealthy, I'd set up lots and lots and lots of foundations and help people in creative industries and things. But my one real luxury for me would be having my sheets just pressed and delicious, changed regularly, and just always perfectly made bed, and just love it. So that would be my choice. What would you choose? It's really difficult, isn't it? You think about it, and you think about all the things in your life that you would have to give up, and all the people, and all the things that you love, and what would be the things that you would take? It's quite an interesting one. But yeah, a few of those tracks definitely. And definitely the bed, I think, with the canopy and the waterproof canopy and the mosquito nets and everything that you can kind of zip up or tie up. And the Gabriel Garcia Marquez books, I think that would be amazing. The Bible is there, and I always thought that was a really odd choice. But I've been doing some theology classes, and I've been reading the Bible most of this year actually. I've been going through the Bible, reading it every week with a group of other people. And it's a really fascinating book to read. And yeah, it's quite a cruel book. It's quite cruel, the Old Testament. It's quite shockingly cruel. So that would be quite interesting, because there's a lot of good stories in there. So I used to think, why get the Bible? But actually, it's quite a good book to read. It's quite an interesting book. All right, well, that's it for me for now. But anyway, lots and lots of love. I'd love to hear what you would take. What would you take? What would be your music choices? What would be your luxury item? What would be your book? Interesting, isn't it? I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Bye-bye.